Narcissistic abuse is a cycle. Nobody is nasty all of the time. Sometimes they're loving, they're caring, they're considerate, they're sensitive, they seem in love. That's how it seems, anyway. And that's why people stay. Nobody would stay if someone was nasty all of the time. So I'm going to talk to you now about the 3 stages of narcissistic abuse. I'm going to talk to you about it from the perspective of you and from the perspective of the narcissist. The first stage of abuse is the idealization phase. This doesn't feel like abuse. This is when you're treated like an absolute goddess if you're a woman, God if you're a man, and you're made to feel incredibly special, really like a one-off amazing person that they're so lucky to have. And the way they behave around you is like they worship you, they put you high on a pedestal, and you feel wonderful. It's a golden phase, and you get everything that you need from them in this time. You feel like they're in love with you, and they're very convincing. So from your perspective, you feel like this is who they really are, this is real, these are really good times, and if anything goes wrong, that's an oddity because this is how things really are. From the narcissist perspective, they're being fake at this point. They're chameleons. They're very clever at knowing exactly what you need, and they will give you that. So in the idealization phase, they are giving you everything you need. Now, there's one part of this, there's one time there's one idealization phase that isn't like this, and that's the first one. Because the first idealization phase is often genuine. The narcissist actually does put this person on a pedestal and think that they're amazing. So at that point, you were amazing to him or her. But nobody can live up to what the narcissist demands of someone. And so it doesn't take long for you to drop off your pedestal because you're human and they realise that you have faults. And at this point, the next stage begins, and that's the devaluation phase. Later on in the relationship, the idealization phase becomes fake. You know, they already know that you're not perfect, you've annoyed them by being human enough times, and so they do the idealization phase to keep you there so that you will give them positive feedback, which makes them feel empowered because you think they're amazing, so that's going to make them feel really good. And because that way they can move into the devaluation phase and they know that you're going to stick around because you're holding on and hoping that idealization phase is going to come back again. So the devaluation phase is when they criticize you, they pick arguments with you that are usually completely irrational. You can see very clearly that there's no logic to what they're getting angry about, but they have all of this anger to take out on you because they really crave an emotional reaction. So that's the point of this phase for them. It's just as the first phase was to keep you there and to get empowered by how into them you are. The point of this phase is that you will react emotionally. Every time you get hurt and every time you get angry, they feel empowered because they're having an effect on you. After this phase, the last phase is the discard. Now, I say last phase, but this is a cycle. So this is the last phase of the cycle, but this is going to be repeated many times. So the discard is when it seems like they've dumped you, but actually, unless they have somebody on the side who they're now going to put in your place, they won't end it with you because they need the fuel they get from you, not because they love you, not because they care about you, but because they need what you supply. Which is, and you could be anybody, you're just there to give them this fuel. So the discard can feel like they've dumped you, but if they don't have somebody else, they will wait for you to come running back to them. And if you don't, then they will come back to you. And in the beginning, usually they don't even wait. They just apologize. I'm so sorry, that's just not what I'm like normally. And then they come back to you.